Welcome to your channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Axe Death to Mutants Issue 1 and Axe Judgment Day Issue 3. So without further ado, let's get into this. So in the first issue, it's pretty interesting because we get to see what motivates the Eternals in thinking it's a good idea to reawaken the progenitor. Well, actually just a faction of the Eternals, and it's the Eternals that are the most known: Icarus, Ajax, Makari, Circe. You also have Phastos, who's sort of on the fence with this, but he joins in on this whole plan to reawaken the progenitor. They're going to reforge the Celestial in their image, and they're going to modify some of the protocols so the Eternals can be liberated from their programming. And this whole thing is basically Ajax's plan, and the idea is to, in changing the basic 3 protocols that the Eternals have to abide to, because the Eternals in general have discovered very recently, or most of them, that if they die, a human must die for them to be reborn again, to come back to life, for what would be their resurrection protocols. So this goes up against one of their main laws, which is not to hurt human life. The other would be to protect the machine, which would be Mother Earth or her operating system. So the thing would be, if they die and they go through a resurrection protocol, which would end a human life, this would go up against one of their own protocols. This contradiction has provoked a true crisis of faith for many Eternals, and especially for this faction, who actually has moved in with the Deviants. I also forgot one other Celestial mandate, which is to eliminate any excess Deviants, which fuels this story because obviously Eternals have always been at war with the Deviants, but at this moment they're in an impasse. And now Druig needs a war, he needs a conflict, so he puts his sights on Marvel's mutants. He views their powers as being a excess Deviants. And Druig, discovering that Krakoa has a resurrection protocol, just pushed him over the edge. Also in this issue, I discovered where the Hex came from, because they were these kaiju-sized Eternals that no one knew about. Uranos had him under lock and key, and when he was brought back into the fold, the Hex were brought back too. So now let's jump into the Judgment issue, where we have the progenitor. He has been brought back to life, and it wastes no time in judging all of humanity, and basically tells the world, you have 24 hours and I'm going to pass judgment on every single person on the planet, and if you're not deemed worthy, you will be goned, eliminated from existence. And the criteria which the progenitor uses to judge each character within the story, I don't understand it. Poor Captain America is one of the first ones to get a thumb down. And we get the scenario where all of Earth's heroes join forces to take down the progenitor. Obviously, the Eternals side with the progenitor and try to defend it. And basically what happens is that this Celestial just wipes everyone away. One little blast, everyone's killed. And then we discovered that this was just a mental projection from the progenitor itself, that it gave everyone preemptively to tell them, look, don't try to stop me or take me down because this is going to happen. So absolutely everyone is very shaken because they have experimented being incinerated to death by a Celestial. It's priceless to see Tony Stark coming to terms that he has totally screwed up again, because he was one of the main guys trying to push for the idea of reawakening the progenitor. He was like going all lockstep with Ajax during that moment. So desperate times call for desperate measures, and what the Eternals decide to do, or the good Eternals, is that they go into the exclusion, that would be like the Eternals prison, and they liberate their most hated prisoner deep within it. It is Eros, Thanos' brother, because they have a plan to use his powers against the progenitor. But we're going to leave it here. I hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.